So back with another driving lesson video, or videos going forward. I'm here with Jack, not Josh. I'm calling you Josh. I've just been with Josh this morning who's passed his driving test, but this is Jack. I've been with you for, we've been training for how long now?
We've had about 6 lessons. I think this is our 7th lesson today.
2-hour lessons, aren't they?
Yes.
So just to give you guys who are watching the video just some idea as to how many hours Jack's done and what sort of things have we covered so far, would you say?
Well, first lesson we learned how to use the clutch and slowly get the hang of how the clutch works. And then second lesson we slowly built up and maybe introduce second and maybe third gear depending on how you're doing. And then it's just escalated and we're doing junctions, roundabouts, a bit of dual carriageway, and yeah, it's been going really well.
Yeah, it has gone really well. I think you're, I'd describe you as, you know, when I meet different learners, more of a natural with it.
Yeah.
But you've got previous experience as well, haven't you? Just to let the viewers know.
Yeah.
You've got, just to share some of your before you started learning to drive yourself.
Before I started learning, I've always loved cars and wanting to learn how to drive. So for my 13th birthday, I think it was, I did a learner's driving at Brands Hatch, which you drove around in a Mini Cooper and they taught you how to drive it and do hill starts. So if there's a local track near you, I think that'd be a good little practice before you really start learning and get on the roads.
Yeah, and good fun as well.
Yeah,
I've done a few track days myself. It's brilliant. I drove Mini Cooper S round. I think it was Donington. I did a VXR day in Silverstone.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun.
But actually, when my younger brothers was much younger, I bought them a track day, and they drove like Ferraris and stuff.
Okay.
I think there was there was autos. Yeah. But they was really young, so it just goes to show, you know, anybody that's watching, you can get all sorts of experiences. Cool. So let's do the recap. So that's just a bit of an insight as to where Jack is, what we've done, and everything else. Let's do a recap in terms of today's lesson, as to establish a starting point. Can you remember what we did last session?
Last session we started to introduce a bit of dual carriageways, and we also learned pulling up on the right hand side of the road, which is it's a little bit harder than just pulling up on the left, because obviously you've got the oncoming traffic. We also did crossroads, which were helpful by Matt's diagrams that he has in his books. It's made a really clear understanding of it. Fantastic.
Glad to hear that. So what do you remember about who should go first, etc. at crossroads? If it's like not a light controlled one or anything, we'll come to that later on in the, we're not far off really covering that.
Yeah. I think the way that Matt described it was you had to, who's crossing whose road. So if you're going across the main road, the people on the main road have priority. If there's no one there, then by all means go across or turn left or right. If there's someone in front of you and they're not indicating, that means they're going straight across. So that can tell you if you can go or not.
Okay, so
that's right.
Yeah. So if they're going straight on, and let's say you're turning right, what do you remember about crossing people's paths? Who should go first in that scenario?
I think the people coming straight across have priority because we're crossing their road.
Good stuff. Yeah, and we talk about not using the term right of way.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, that's a completely different sort of like part of it, I think, isn't it?
It doesn't. The only time you really give way to the right is roundabouts. Really, the term doesn't make sense. I do believe it stems from right of way through people's property, land and stuff. I don't think it's really.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that's been brought in to driving, and it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, it's irrelevant. But it's just something it's good to know. So it's not irrelevant. Slightly irrelevant.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Good. So it went well last lesson then, by the sounds of it. We did some crossroads. Did you have a chance to put some into practice and do some crossroads as well?
Yeah, I've had a few practices.
Yeah.
They're going well.
Good. What else did you do? So you said dual carriageways. Is that faster ones now, or?
Yeah, so they're depending on which one you're on, it's either 60 or 70 mile an hour.
And did we talk about how to identify whether it's 60 or whether it's 70?
I think it's the centre column, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything to do with the lanes?
Can't remember.
No, nothing to do with the lanes. It's just about whether there's because it can be a one lane dual carriageway. You see,
Yeah.
as long as there's a divider down the middle. Yeah. So if you decide that it's a dual carriageway, what would your speed limit be?
60. Yeah. If there's a centrepiece, it'd be 70.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then if there wasn't, it'd be 60.
Good. And do you remember the reason why it doesn't just tell you the actual speed limit? Because it'd be easier, wouldn't it, if it just told us and it didn't have to make us work it out for ourselves?
It's all because there's different types of transport on the road. So lorries could only maybe do 60, but we could do 70.
Good.
So it's just a lot easier for everyone to understand by one sign.
Fantastic. Good stuff. So, was there any issues last lesson that we were working on? Anything that you want me to be aware of today that I could help you with potentially that you're aware of? If not, great. I just want to get a feel for.
I don't think there's anything major that I need to work on. I think it was just remembering to check my my blind spot like behind my shoulders before changing lanes.
Okay.
But I've been working on that.
Good. Yeah, because just for the viewers, you've got your you've just bought a car this week, haven't you?
Yeah.
Very lucky. You've had what car have you had?
I've got a Skoda Citigo. I like it.
Yeah.
Gets me from A to B. It's not too pricey.
You've got learner insurance, haven't you?
Yes, I've got the learner's insurance. And then the main insurance itself wasn't as high as we were expecting, which is good. So if you're looking at getting a car, I'd say definitely go and have a look at some of those cars. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So today's lesson, where would you like to be by the end? Is there anything you'd like to get in today specifically based on your last drive?
I think it's just the smoothness, just try and get it all flowing into one piece instead of doing everything at different times.
Okay.
Try and smoothen it all out and make sure I'm doing everything correctly.
Okay. Is there any parts that are the most unsmooth that you're aware of? If we put it in that, spin it that way.
Yeah.
That I can just look out for. If not, it's fine. Obviously, we'll identify anything that comes up.
Not too sure. Maybe because when I was driving my car to athletics, my stepdad was saying about maybe like even like just coming to traffic lights, like getting the correct gear if you're going to stop or not. And then sometimes on roundabouts, like my positioning, but I'm pretty much not. I'm not there, obviously, but I'm a lot better than I was.
You're more aware of it, and you're starting to.
To stay in the correct lane as you go around.
Okay. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for those things, and if I can help you with that, I will. Apart from that, do you want me to help you with anything or leave you to it in the main? Unless, obviously, if safety critical, in which case I will step in.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, apart from that, then I'll leave you to it. And any... So in terms of what we're doing then, we're going to rejoin the carriageways again? Continue where we left off?
Yeah.
Maybe pull up on the right, move back in, see how that goes?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to involve that.
Okay, so let's start with your objective first. We'll get going, and then as we go through the lesson, we'll decide if and when we want to add anything new in, or depending on what comes up, we'd work with that. So, happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Any questions?
No.
Good. Let's go.
So wait for that car to come in.
I think it's going to be safer, isn't it? Because we are crossing their path, aren't we? Like we said in the recap. It's the same kind of thing here, really. So at the junction at the end, Jack, we'll turn left. And at the roundabout, we'll turn left, please. roundabout, we'll turn right. That's 4th exit, Jack.
Okay.
So it's 4th exit, just in case you forgot.
2, 3.
So do you think you'll be watching these videos back, Jack?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've watched a few of them just over again, and it's just,
Have you?
yeah, I've just sort of,
Going to be turning, going to need the left-hand lane ahead, okay? Just because road markings don't show you here as early as they should. Sorry to interrupt you, you were saying?
I think it's just good to see, what was I going to say now?
Just to see other driving and stuff.
Yeah, just to see other driving.
Do you see the layout for the roundabout ahead?
Green light.
Well done. We're going to be turning left at that roundabout, Jack.
Towards Loughborough, isn't it?
Yep, that's the one. So which mirrors would you normally be checking?
My centre and my left.
Okay. Were you thinking quite heavily about the roundabout then, do you think? Maybe just missed it off?
Pardon?
Just asking you, do you think it was because you were thinking about the roundabout quite a lot and the approach and the lights and stuff?
Yeah, I was watching the lights and I knew that these cars were here as well, so
The thing with mirrors, sometimes you've got to prioritise, you know?
yeah, just...
And what I mean by that, it's not always necessarily prioritise the mirrors.
Yeah.
If something is important in terms of your forward driving, that's important as well, isn't it? So you won't want to take your eyes off sometimes, but... Done any work in slow moving traffic before like this?
Done a little bit.
Well, I'm going to see how you sort of move in this traffic, because I dare say it's going to be stop-start traffic.
Yeah.
And if I can offer you any tips, is that okay?
Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do in this is to watch for the traffic, not only in front of you, but ahead of what they're doing.
Well done, yeah.
So if they're all stops up there, I know I'm going to come to a stop.
Yeah, so you started dropping back.
Yeah. So you don't want to be right behind them because you might back into them.
That's it, good. And where did you learn that? Is that something you've seen from parents, or is that...
Yeah, just parents, and I think just natural instinct, really. I think why put yourself at risk when you can just sort of, and I'd rather keep moving and just sit in traffic for 5 minutes.
This is it. People think if they're closer to the car in front, they'll get there quicker.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that's backwards thinking. So the video may cut off at the end because the battery life doesn't last, but we might get the whole lesson. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll probably edit it anyway.
Yeah.
So how do you edit it then on the GoPro?
I just use a program. It's called VSDC. There's lots out there, lots of different ones.
What's that on? Is that Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Okay.
I think you might be able to get it from Mac as well. I'm not sure. I've not noticed really anything I could make you smoother with yet anyway, so you know, regarding your goal for today.
Yeah.
must be using gas on this one as well.
Yeah, I'm using it now. Yeah, I think I just need to use more throttle.
Yeah.
On my car.
Yeah.
Compared to this one.
So before we slow down, any threat behind us, any risk, danger?
There's a car.
Are they travelling close? Are they paying attention?
Paying attention.
They are. That's always a good one. If they weren't, what could you do sooner to decrease your risk?
Just slightly put my brake lights on.
And how would you do that to be more defensive with your driving, for example? What would you...
Either slow down, black girl in front on her phone. You're looking at her eyes, looking down.
So she's likely to slam on, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she travels close to the car in front as it is. So that's what we want to know, is the car behind, because we're in control of this, but we're not in control of that.
But yeah.
So let's see if it affects her. Let's see if she... What did you say? Her eyes keep going down?
Yeah, she keeps like looking down at her legs.
Do you see that in a centre mirror, do you?
Oh no, she wasn't on her phone, she was rolling a cigarette.
Bloody hell.
Oh my god.
I hope it's a good cigarette. I hope it was worth it. What could catch up in this scenario on the left, do you think?
Bikes.
Yeah.
Like cyclists.
Yeah. So
And
probably...
even on our right as well, like motorbikes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Were you letting them go, or did they just perceive it as that?
They just went, like, didn't let them go.
Didn't affect us really, did it? But what a lot of people mistake is good driving, good gaps for letting them go.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I do a roundabout, I position well to go round in the left-hand lane for a head. You go round to the left, don't you? As soon as I start to steer to the left, get my hands down in case they think I'm waving them across. As soon as you start to go to the left, people start to pull out sometimes at roundabouts. They think I'm going left first exit, and I'm not. I'm just doing like good lane positioning. So I am mindful of that, and sometimes I won't position as good if I think somebody's likely to pull out. Just going to wait up really. We still got the same car behind us then, Jack, or a different one now?
A different car.
And the mannerisms of that driver, are they alert, paying attention generally? Without looking for too long, sort of thing?
No, I know there's two people in the car, so
Okay.
could be talking or whatever.
Alright,
Don't want to be blocking the drive. or
good
the
planning.
road.
Good planning. Excellent.
It's a red light now, isn't it?
What we're coming up to then, Jack?
Roundabout.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll turn left at the roundabout. That's first exit, okay.
Yeah, first exit.
And was there any catching up on the left? I saw you look.
Yeah. There wasn't anything.
No.
I was watching the pedestrians as well. They could just walk out of traffic.
Yeah. So it's going to be left at the roundabout. So what you're going to check just as you...
Set for my...
Nice one. So you said earlier, just to remind you, to have a sideways glance when just before you change lanes. Is that something you still want me to do? What if we do any lane changes
Yeah,
or
I think
anything?
if we do any lane changes,
Yeah.
I think it'd be good. So
Alright.
just...
Are you good with your mirrors and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
We're just going to follow the road straight ahead.
Okay.
How's things behind us? I saw you check before we slowed. Do you think it'd be good to check as you're slowing as well, during the slowing? So it's really close. What could you do differently, do you think? That you couldn't have done if you hadn't have checked and saw?
I'm not sure. I think depending on how close you were to the lights, I suppose you could sped up a little bit.
You could certainly come off the brakes a bit. Slower on the clutch.
There you go.
That's it. Bit more revs. You've got to get your revs on first, yeah?
Yeah.
Plenty of revs. If you can't hear it, don't do anything with the clutch.
Okay.
you can't hear it in the background. So what we got coming up from this big green sign on the left then here?
No, we're emergent lane now.
Okay. And what road markings have we got on the floor here?
I don't know what they're called actually.
Solid white lines. So we can't cross this
solid
bit.
white lines.
And we're going to have a quick sideways glance just before we go. Good. Fantastic. And did you catch the speed limit for this new road, Jack?
It's 50.
Yeah, that's it. And do you remember what the general rules are for carriageway driving if there's more than one lane?
Stay on the left because the right hand lane's for overtaking.
That's it. I want you to change lane to one to the right, please. Well, it's safe, no rush. And before we go, quick sideways glance, make sure there's nothing that the mirrors didn't show. It's unlikely, but we can be 100% if we do that, as long as it's a quick sideways glance and not a full-on over-the-shoulder blind spot check, which is unnecessary. Going back to what I was saying at the lights back there, you could just ease off the brakes and let the car roll at a higher speed for longer to give them more time to react. You know, as you're slowing, if they're not paying attention behind, you might just stop on top of the line rather than just before it, for example, but it's better than somebody rear-ending you. I wouldn't encourage you to go over the lines. Because sometimes, if it's a difference between a rear end or not, well, I would be deciding there and then. And how's things looking behind us at the moment?
Yeah. There's a car behind us.
Okay.
That's what I was doing when I was coming to brake. I looked behind me because I went, these lights are going to change.
Good anticipation there. At the roundabout, we'll turn left. So let's get in the habit of the mirror signal manoeuvre routine. So we're going to turn left, centre left mirror, signal left. Better with the gas and clutch, the combination there, as opposed to when you stalled at the lines early, which you recovered from fine, so it's not even an issue. And we hardly moved, so it went like a false start type thing, which can be dangerous. You know, when you move a bit, the car behind thinks you're moving and then goes in the back of you.
Yeah. It's 30 long periods. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, you're very sort of, I feel like you tend to keep up to date generally with your mirrors anyway.
Yeah. If anything, I think the only thing I sort of need to do more is to check my side mirrors, because I'm always looking in my rear view mirror as well.
Yeah. Do you want me to remind you for that? Give you some reminders when I give you an instruction that we're going to need to check such a mirror at all? Do you think that'd be beneficial or?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think it's not that I forget, it's just I look in my centre mirror and I can sort of see what's behind me, but I just don't really, I don't know, I just don't look in the side mirror, which I know I should.
Yeah, so
not as much as I should, I think is the right way to put it.
Okay, we'll try and deal with that then. So I'll give you some reminders and tell me whether you would have or wouldn't have checked, if you can. Okay. So we're just going to keep following the road ahead at the moment. So check your centre and your left here, because you're going to come into the left lane, aren't you, for following the road ahead?
Okay.
So as we slow, a cyclist could catch up on the left, for example.
You see, I would have never done that too, because...
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah.
So we can help each other here, can't we? centre and right mirror here on approach, because it's no good checking the right mirror after you've already steered, and left mirror here. It's no good checking the right mirror after you've already steered out. It's pointless.
Okay.
You'll have already hit what you will have, if something is there. Left mirror after the bus in case the pedestrians got off and started to run across the road in front of the bus, for example. It's unlikely, not impossible though. So check your right mirror there. Is that because you knew you were steering right?
Yeah.
Could have been something cutting us up, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So here I'd check the centre mirror and I'd check the right mirror. If things was going to overtake, generally on the right, no, it's unlikely because that's good.
Yeah.
You could consider the bus lane, so when your bikes or cyclists coming up in the left mirror as we stop, you just have a quick check in your left mirror. Yeah. So it's all round awareness really. Go on, what was you going to say?
I think one thing that my stepdad keeps saying, and I know I keep doing it, but it's actually coasting.
Oh, okay. I've not experienced any of that yet today.
That was like 5 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were a bit. That bus activated the lights. That's why. When the bus goes through that bus lane, and they'll change back now. Good stuff. Good stuff there. So, which two mirrors are you going to check?
My centre.
That's it. Do you think he's going to pull out, or do you think? So position early, Jack. Steer, steer, steer. Because last time was quite close with the corners. And which two mirrors now? Good. So what we want to do is we don't want to come up to the bus like this and then move out.
So is it the same as a bike?
Yeah.
Sort of go wide.
You'd already be there, and you just travel past in a straight line.
Okay.
Bit tricky with the bus because you want to. It could be about to move on. Yeah. So you've got to.
Bus drivers, they move before they signal.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately. Do you remember what the flashing amber light means?
It's going to go to green.
Well done. What about if it was still flashing when you drove through? Is that okay, or?
I don't know actually, but...
Flashing amber means go if clear, go if it's safe.
Okay.
It's never going to turn red after, like you say, it's always going to go on a green.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I've been starting to do my theory now, and I got a test for Christmas.
Oh, an app to train with?
Yeah, like on my computer, so I downloaded that, and I just, without any revision, I just wanted to see my general knowledge, how much I knew, and obviously it's out of 50, and you needed 43, I think it was, to pass.
That's it.
And I got 37.
Not bad, first one, is it? No revision or anything?
No revision, just general knowledge.
What do you think about the car in front's road positioning?
Very much to the right,
So
like
what,
me.
Yeah, so what?
So I'm going to pull in a little
So
bit.
what are you going to check first?
Centre, my left.
Do you think subconsciously you've been dragged into that position through just sort of looking at the line of cars in front?
Yeah.
What's the danger of being too far over there?
Hit a car or a bus on that side.
If something wide comes down, it could take your mirror off, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Or if a car overtakes a cyclist on that side, or something happens that shouldn't. When we reach the roundabout, we're going to be turning right there.
Here. Oh, it's around right here, isn't it?
That's it.
Okay. I don't want to put my indicator on yet because there's a junction.
Fantastic. Anything on the left, in the left mirror, before we move forward? There's a bit of a crunch point here, isn't there? So it went round us.
Yeah.
That won't be good.
There's a roundabout or a junction.
Which bit?
This bit up here.
It's a light controlled roundabout.
Where is it? I don't know. Oh, I was getting confused with this bit.
Okay, turning right. Good signal to say you're coming round. It's the third exit that we're taking. How's things looking behind us? Anything close?
No one behind us.
Okay, no threats.
third exit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get my indicator now.
Interesting one always comes up about signalling on these roundabouts. If you're in the inside lane, you might as well signal right to go round. But if you're in the middle lane signalling right, and there's a lane on the left.
Might come over.
Yeah, so I would say if you're in the lorry, for example, and you're turning right,
Yeah.
which you could possibly in that lane, depending on the roundabout, or left to signal off, you might decide not to because it looks like you want to change lanes. So there is no definite with many roundabouts or roundabouts like this. It's just what's best for that type of roundabout and how is it going to affect others.
So you said I would have my signal on.
Yeah, I don't think it'd do any harm. And now we're looking behind. Look out for brake lights as we're coming around. That can be an early indicator that the lights run red. You know, some people then they're right on the gas and then they have to slam on. So they speed up to slam on, sort of thing.
So that's the second exit, isn't it? So we're coming off here, aren't we?
That's the first exit. That one is.
Oh,
The other one was an entry.
oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, it is the second. It's fourth. Apologies. It's fourth exit. So that's third. We're taking fourth. So keep in the middle. Right signal on. That's it. Then pop. Okay. Then what I do on this particular type of roundabout, there's two lanes to exit here. Can you see that go around for Chesterfield? So because you could go right or left, I'd now signal left. You shouldn't change lanes anyway. It's a solid yellow line. A solid white line.
Sorry. That's a lot bigger than us.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. And what's going to happen to the road ahead from this warning triangle?
It's going to merge into one.
Okie dokie. So checking your centre and your left mirror early. Checking your centre and your left mirror again.
Is it 30 longer, isn't it? 40.
Did you see the signs as we're coming? I'm guessing not, you're asking. National speed limit, just as we come off the roundabout. So there's a repeater. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, I went into third, not fifth.
Okay. Just come left a bit with the steering. Check your left mirror. Check your right mirror. You see we're closer to the white paint than we are the curb.
Yeah.
So bring us centre of our lane. Could give the impression we're turning right or drunk. Something like that. Although a lot of full licence holders do drive like that to the right all the time, I've noticed. Let's turn right at the roundabout. That's third exit. Good early mirrors there in pairs. Well done. Lovely and smooth there.
Third exit, isn't it?
And left door mirror. Yeah, and the sideways one. Good stuff. Probably would have just got in the left door mirror a little earlier there. And then the sideways glance just to finish it off. You see what's coming out at you then at the exit, because people don't like stopping, do they? So it might, sometimes you look over your shadow and think, bloody hell, I'm going to get my foot down and get out of their way because they ain't stopping. Alright, we'll go and recap, while we're over this way, we'll recap a couple of crossroads, I reckon.
Okay.
And make sure you're dealing with all those priorities still. That alright with you?
Yep.
Maybe just recap pulling up on the right as well. Centre and well done. Do you feel those reminders are helpful or annoying?
No, I think they are helpful because I do forget sometimes.
Okay, tell me when you feel it's unnecessary.
Okay.
Alright. see it? Your right door mirror, did you check that one?
No, I didn't.
Lovely timing. Because if there's a bike already at the side of us, you could argue you'd hear it. I mean, you might not, or you could have your radio on loud on a different day, or whatever. You wouldn't see it in your centre mirror.
No.
Because it's already at the side of you, sort of thing. Or if you're slowing off a bike, you certainly wouldn't hear that, would you?
Yeah. Where are we going?
Just following the road ahead, as always. Interesting parking.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit low.
Yeah. Where are we going? Where are we?
Why is it?
We're in Chad.
Yeah.
All right. When we reach the crossroads, go straight ahead, please.
Straight ahead.
Do you remember how you'd position for straight ahead at a crossroad?
Right side.
Go the most natural line for a cross, whichever that is. Yeah. Anything close behind? Okay.
It's going right. She's going right.
Cool. And take the next road on the left, please. So check your scent. Yeah, just to the side. Good, so you got your door mirror in there. What we got in front?
Roadworks.
Any risks? Not there, are they? They're over here somewhere. Can hear something, but it's not in the road. What do you see in front? Type of junction.
Crossroad.
Exactly, we're going to turn left there, please, first exit. So which other mirror? Good. Because a cyclist could get into that space, and when you steer left, you don't want to crush them. Careful with the steering, because it's quite a sharp right-angled curve. So look out for the curb as well as looking for traffic and stuff. I think it could have happened, not 100%, but just worth thinking about on them tight ones. The crossroad, we'll turn right, please. Centre and right mirror, then signal. So your signal's a confirmation of your intentions based on your checking that it's safe.
What's this person doing?
Lovely. So you've checked your centre. Anything overtaken in the right mirror?
No.
Good, so we know it's safe to speed up. So every new road, centre and right mirror. Check your left mirror again. You've probably got loads more room on the left, and the bus could get through with a bit more with ease. And you know, if you position early, which I do for other cars sometimes to help them, as long as it's not a road with lots of debris on the left that could have nails and glass and in the gutter, then I'll position left and help others get through. But it requires early thinking, early checking, and early positioning, so they know that you're playing ball, if you like. Everything right with the crossroads? Seemed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't have too much to deal with, but never do when you want to do it. And when you don't, there's lots of things that come up. Yeah. Tends to be. So which two mirrors are you going to check now? What?
Centre and my left, because I was coming back.
Alright. At the roundabout, we're going to go straight ahead. That's your second exit. So which mirrors are you going to check?
Centre and my right.
Okay. Which lane are you going to use for ahead?
Right hand lane.
Left.
Oh, left hand lane.
Unless it says otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause that's right only.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
we're going ahead. Cancel your right signal. That's it.
Okay, got that.
Do you reckon it's been prepared a little earlier on the approach?
Yeah, because he was rolling forward and he didn't know that he was going to go, and then he stopped, and then I just disengaged my clutch, so
Yeah.
I wasn't actually ready to.
Okay, I checked the right mirror just there because there's a merge. There's enough space for another car to be. Just keep following the road ahead. There's enough space for a car to be at the side of you there. Do you know what I mean? You catch the speed limit, Jack, coming in there.
40.
Yeah, well
I did check that.
well done. So your road positioning then, what should it be? To the right, to the left, or centre of the lane?
Coming around the bend, or?
Oh, good question. Good question. Just generally, straight line driving. We'll come to bends in a minute.
I thought that car hit that cyclist thing as
Did
he
you?
came round it,
Yeah.
as he pulled out.
On a different day, could well have hit it. So your road position should be centre, yeah? I'll just get you to think about it a bit more. So we're going round a right bend. Where might you position for a better view around the right bend?
More towards the left.
Fantastic. So what's the danger then in positioning right on a left bend then? That's the opposite to what we just said.
You can squeeze a cyclist on the left. Oh, sorry,
If you're going round a left bend, you position right. What's the added risk with that?
you're too far to the opposite cars.
Could be, yeah. Sometimes I go a bit right if the lanes are really wide. It's not, it's not as much of a thing then, but.
Still 40 on here.
Take the next road on the right. Can you see it? And which other? Well done. Really important there. Good. That's nice, smooth early positioning there. Anything you'd have done differently with steering just in the latter parts?
Get my hands right. I was a bit. I don't know how to explain it. A bit. How can I'm not sure. Maybe I could have slowed down a little bit. I would have
A bit more.
Yeah.
I think they'd give more time to steer, wouldn't it? Because we just sort of went around and then back in a bit, only slightly. But it could invite a car to turn early if they cut the corner, and then we turn back into the driving line, and there's a car there. So as soon as you get level with that point of turn, bang, steering on. Be aware though, if you steer too fast and you're travelling too fast, if it's snowy or icy,
You just go straight on.
yeah. So like you said, speed on approach, just make sure you're more than happy with your speed on approach. Just squeeze the brake more, innit?
Yeah.
On the approach. Well, whilst you're engaging that lower gear, clutch up, the brake's squeezing still. Most people come off the brake as they're slowing down, particularly learners, which is why they don't slow down enough, and which is why it's not smooth. Not with yourself so much, but just speaking generally. Check your right door mirror, check your left. What's the difference between the spaces each side of the car? Did you notice? There should be a narrow gap on the left between you and the white paint. On the left, there should be a big gap between the bodywork of the car and the curb. What that means is that you're positioned as though you're turning right. And you see that car's turning right. Well, when you turn right, you do position, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're positioned, they're positioned, you could knock door mirrors off, or worse. Cars might think you're going into driveways, and things could start to go round you on the outside of you, so just be really ultra conscious of that. I'm going to turn left here at the roundabout. So for the new road, which two mirrors?
Centre to my right.
Good. And which lane positioning for best results?
Centre.
Centre of what? The lane.
Yeah, the lane.
I know. Sorry, I'm just. It's an easy one to fall into, that one. Yeah, centre of the lane. Which two? You got it. Nice one. Good stuff. Certainly working, isn't it? There's paying attention to the door mirrors. Very, very important, them door mirrors.
Yeah, I think.
Now, just remind me. Go on. Yeah, go on.
I think it's like surprising how many people forget how important the mirrors are.
Yeah. I think it's all about making educated decisions.
Yeah.
If you're not up to speed with everything around you and your surroundings, then how educated can it be? Really?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Do you want me to lay off with the reminders for the mirrors, unless I see you miss one? Or do you want me to still be reminded?
Yeah, I think it'd be.
Still remind you?
Yeah.
So which two just about now?
Centre my right.
Yeah. And which two just after?
Centre left.
Yeah. Along this road, I'm going to ask you to pull up on the right, please. Just do that when it's safe.
Yeah. Not on a
I'll leave you to it because we went over it last week, unless you'd like me to help you with it. Okay. Lovely. Fantastic. So I think we did a bit of an analysis on this last week.
Yes.
Anything you want to go over regarding the right reverse? Just had it this morning actually on the test that I did with Josh this morning. First time I've experienced it on a driving test.
Okay. How is it? Is it a bit
I
weird?
can't believe it was a manoeuvre.
Yeah.
It's an actual
Pull off
manoeuvre.
and then pull back.
Yeah, so then he was asked to reverse 2 car lengths,
Yeah.
just keeping reasonably close to the curb. Now what I did notice is that he picked up a driver fault,
Did he?
just because he made one slight adjustment with the steering wheel, which
What, he moved his steering
he didn't
wheel?
even go off really, as far as I was aware. He didn't really lose the curb. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, just try and keep the same. You know, you've got a gap between the body. We've been talking about this as well. The bodywork and the curb line. What gap is that at the moment? Is it like that?
Yeah, it's not that far. I think I'm actually not almost spot on, but
Yeah.
a good.
It looks good.
Pretty much.
I can't actually see it from here, but as you reverse back in a moment, just try and keep the gap.
Oh. Shall I reverse back to the curb, obviously, so I'm not blocking their drive? Or...
Don't worry about it, 'cause this is not a parking exercise. I mean, it kind of is, but the this bit is,
Yeah.
but the reversing back bit isn't.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know why they would ask you to reverse back 2 car lengths?
I don't know why you would need to reverse 2 car lengths back.
What it is when you park on the right, if something's in front of you, or you park and then something parks in front of you, what's that going to do to your visibility of oncoming traffic, particularly if it's a van or something with no glass windows?
Like, make it worse.
You're not going to see what's coming, are you?
Yeah, oh, so it's literally just so to move back so you can see what's around you.
You're going to see more,
Oh, okay.
aren't you? I wouldn't say, well, you might be able to see everything depending on what the road shape in front,
Yeah.
but it's going to help you, so that's the reason why. So you would stop, secure the car. I would then ask you, or the examiner would ask you to reverse 2 car lengths, secure the car,
Yeah.
and then I'll ask you to drive on, really, to rejoin traffic. We did all this last week, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's fine what you did so far.
Yeah.
Off you go if you're happy. Nice day today.
Yeah.
Nice puffy clouds, blue sky, kind of.
Yeah.
Still time though, isn't there? I think it's the eco that's on at the moment, so if
Yeah,
you
it's
pop
not-
your clutch back down, it should fire up. There we go.
I was like,
Bit of a
why is
weird
it
one to get
working?
your head around. Yeah, I do it sometimes, to be honest.
Where's the buying point? Buying point's there. I'm just going back, aren't I? So I can see what's coming round the bend, I can see what's in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Just stop it there for us. Just pause. Now, when you're reversing, what should you do before you... Okay, let's just actually... Is this the first manoeuvre that we've looked at?
On the actual test, I think it is. Yeah.
Just general reversing manoeuvring. Is this the first time we've really looked at it? You train, and I've only done about 12 hours, haven't we?
Yeah.
Before today.
I know what I didn't do.
Go on.
Look behind.
Fantastic. Why would you look behind you and not just staring this guy here?
Because that is a straight line view, whereas if you look behind, you can see everything.
Corners, yeah. Peripheral vision. And before you start looking there reversing, where would you check out that it's safe to start moving?
Your right shoulder.
Exactly,
well.
Because there could be something reversing out that driveway. Exactly. If you check, even if you check the right mirror, you wouldn't see something starting to reverse out the driveway.
Yeah, it's like I can't even see that black car that's there.
But if you check over your shoulder, you can.
Yeah.
So a sweeping glance, right shoulder, right door mirror, just round really.
Okay.
Ensuring the area is safe to start reversing backwards and then looking in the direction of travel.
Okay.
All right? All right with that, or do you want me to guide you through?
No, I think I've got that.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Let's wait for these cars. Because I need to stop anyway when a car comes.
Fantastic, yeah. Less danger when we're stationary, aren't we?
Yeah.
What I would do though is I'd get yourself prepared, because you're on an incline. When you come off the brake, you're likely to roll forwards and we want to go backwards. So while you're waiting for them cars to clear, make sure all the feet and everything are ready.
Just going to hold that handbrake on.
Mm-hmm. And that right shoulder's still good, nothing developing in the driveway there.
No.
Quite a big driveway. Still got a good gap there?
Yeah. Need to go to the left a tiny bit.
That'll do us. Yeah, fantastic. We're still good with the curb?
I think I have gone a slightly bit right.
What, closer to it?
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine. If you was about to hit it, what would you do?
I'd stop and I'd roll forward a little bit.
Make an adjustment?
Yeah.
And then you just got to reposition the back of the car basically.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not a bad idea to put yourself wrong on purpose to see if you could deal with
So you
it.
can re-angle your car.
But I'm sure we'll have opportunities to do that as we go through. Okay, so if you're happy with that, I'm happy with that, then, well, with the bits that we touched on, drive on when you're ready.
My knee needs to click as well.
Your knees?
Oh, it's clicked.
Alright, that better now it's clicked.
Yeah.
My knees click every time I stand up, to be honest with you.
So,
They have done for years and years.
so I'm pulling out armour as well, so...
Yeah.
Okay, to run. Could have gone then.
I'd cancel that signal now. Or else you'll have cars stopping and waiting for you and all sorts, and it'll confuse things. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's good timing. Good job on the second and third check. I'd do the same there, because
Yeah,
it takes more time.
Telling me about that.
Yeah, good stuff. Alright. Are you happy with the structure of today's lesson and what we're doing and where we've been, and
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to add in that I've not done maybe?
I don't know really.
Okay, that's good.
Is there anything you would want to do? Or?
No, I think I'm quite happy really with what we've been doing. Straight ahead here, it's second exit. Type of roundabout's this one.
No, you don't need a signal.
Do we to exit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Your road position was great there, because I'd class that as a single lane run.
Yeah.
So if we went left, we could invite traffic on the right, couldn't we? So very good. Did you consider that on the approach, or was that just your natural instinct? know we spoke about it before.
Yeah, I think it was just, I knew it was a smaller roundabout, so I didn't need to indicate.
Okay.
We're in a house estate, it's not going to be a big roundabout in the middle of the estate, really. So I sort of just pieced everything together pretty quickly.
Which 2 mirrors before that blue car?
Right, centre and left, right.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Get my words out.
As long as your actions show the correct thing, it doesn't matter what the words do. So let's turn left at the roundabout. Good, you've already got your mirrors in for the moving in and for the roundabout there. So which 2? Well done. Start to move out early. You'll have an earlier view around the bend, plus you can always tuck in based on if you see something. The good thing is you'd see it earlier, because you're, like we said, positioning for bends earlier. Okay, at the end of the road, turn left please. So which 2 mirrors? And when would we usually get them in? Before the signal or during or after?
Before this.
Why is it important to get them in before then?
There could be a bike come down on your left, and you're turning left, you obviously take the inner side of that.
Yeah.
So you don't want to squish them.
So what would you do differently then, based on the information you'd got before you signalled?
Before I would signal, I would have checked my mirrors before.
So we might not signal, we might not do the turn, we might slow down differently.
Yeah.
Well done. Obviously I won't tell you something if I can see you've already done it.
Okay.
It'd be a bit silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I will acknowledge it.
How long do you reckon I've got until I can actually apply for my driving
Test,
yeah.
practical. Really glad to hear that you're making moves in your theory, first of all.
Yeah.
So you can't book your practical till you pass that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you can't even book it.
no, you can't even book it. When you pass that, you get a reference number,
Oh, and you put that in.
and then you use that code to book your practical driving test.
They shouldn't put that little toys there.
That was,
It feels like there's little kids just standing on the road.
yeah, that's the aim, I think. Just like make people think about the speed.
True.
It's just to get you to think about it. Another traffic calming measure, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you see ahead?
Is that a crossroad or T-junction? I can't tell.
We'll be turning right at it.
There's a mini roundabout.
Okay, good.
I see it now.
Was it crucial you signalled off a mini roundabout?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh.
By the time you had it done, when your fingers went for it, after you'd finished steering, that's the point, your hands are tied up steering, aren't they, quite a lot. Your car was off anyway.
Yeah.
Your positioning would have told everybody what you were doing.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason why it's not crucial to signal off a mini roundabout. Of course, I would only tell you everything that's fine with test as well, so don't worry about that. Straight ahead at this mini roundabout. So when you get to the midway point, do you need to signal? Is it important?
No.
Nah.
On a test, would you need to or not really?
No, everything I tell you is compatible with that.
Okay.
Right? I wouldn't tell you anything that mess you up. Because everybody, like, just because it's a test, they still wouldn't know where you. They wouldn't not know where you're going just because it's your test.
Yeah.
Your road positioning confirms your intentions. By the time you get the signal on, you're off anyway. The front end's nearly in the new road.
That's the first time I've actually had to slow down for a speed bump.
Just right, really.
Yeah. They're just about the right height, aren't they, to slow you down. tyres and tarmac. Yeah.
Tyres and tarmac.
Tyres and
Yeah,
tarmac.
could have mentioned that earlier. There was an opportunity to. You didn't want to jump down your throat too much about things. So that amber light then, do you think that was justified going through that amber light then?
Yeah, because I was already past.
I agree. Just wanted to get your thoughts on it really.
Yeah.
If you just stopped, you'd have been in the middle of the crossing more or less, wouldn't you? Over the line and that. Yeah, tyres and tarmac. Why is tyres and tarmac important then as a reference?
I suppose so. Every time you stop, it's the same gap.
Yeah. And why is it important to have that gap then?
If you're on a hill, they could roll back into you because they haven't got the clutch.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah. That's it.
Failure of a car.
Take the next road on the right. Yeah, do enter the hatch markings.
Okay.
It means we're not going to be hanging out into the road. Did we discuss this last week?
Yeah, you said I could. You can go in the hatch markings just before.
Yeah. Did you see there's benefits to be had by going in the hatch markings that time?
Yeah.
So for the new road, or particularly before we sort of speed up now, nothing overtaking us, is there, from what you checked behind? We've got 3 mini roundabouts on this road.
Okay.
I want you to go straight ahead at all of them.
Okay.
Alright.
I think one of the. I wasn't driving obviously, but it was in France, and there were like 3 massive roundabouts all combined together into one. It's
Okay.
quite amusing to watch my dad drive that.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're all crossing like.
Mm.
It was almost 2 loop for loops of 8.
Yeah.
Going all at once.
I'm with you. There's some roundabouts like that in this country. Some mini roundabouts like it as well. Do you think anybody else could step out where he has?
Yeah, because I was watching somebody telling some terrier.
If she'd have been vulnerable then and in danger, would you have sort of held back, or would you have kept driving?
If she was already walked out before I got to where I was, I probably would have stopped and everything.
Yeah, good stuff, yeah. So, if a pedestrian's already in the road, who's got priority, according to the highway code?
They have.
Yeah. Well done with the mirrors. What's the problem with, if somebody hasn't crossed, what's the problem with you waving them across and stopping? Let's say you're in moving traffic, somebody just stood there and you stopped now and said, yeah, go on.
If you got that, someone who's not watching the road going the other way could just carry on driving.
Yeah, you might not be aware of all the road around you, might you, at that point? Either. It's something you'd fail your driving test for, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to turn left at the end.
Should have done mirrors before.
Well done. I was hoping you'd say that. Maybe a touch of coasting on the approach there. The only time I've noticed it today, but not really enough to make a big song and dance about.
No.
When we talk about your overall control, you know. So yeah, maybe just could have gone clutch down a bit later.
Okay.
And I'm only just saying that because you asked me to be aware of your control and smooth.
My stepdad wanted to ask me to ask you.
Right, well let's just analyse this a bit more then. Clutch down earlier if you're already travelling at low speed isn't coasting because you're not going to lose any control. I would say the definition of coasting is when you experience a loss of control. So you could argue we didn't really lose much control there. That's why I said it wasn't enough for me to make a song and dance about, but I do feel it could have gone down later.
Yeah.
petrol?
Yeah.
That's good. Right, so at the roundabout, let's turn left. Well done. Get in the right order. Mirrors for New Road and the merge. That's it. Sometimes it's worth checking that one and that one, but you just got to decide if it is or not, because obviously you don't want to take your eyes
That's
off.
where I got my car.
Oh, is it?
Bristol Street Motors.
Yeah. What have you got? I don't know, like a 5-year deal or something, or did you?
No, it's a second-hand car. So,
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
right.
We're going to turn right when we get to the end, and we're going to do follow through the city centre.
Okay.
So,
Right.
what lane do you, when we get to the end of the road,
Oh, yeah.
what lane do you think you'll use if it's a roundabout?
The right-hand lane.
Yeah, just going back to that earlier, I asked you to go ahead and you was going to use the right-hand lane. Which lane usually is it for ahead?
Left.
Yeah. If it's not, where would you find the information?
On the road markings.
That's right. Or
The signs.
that's it. So we're going city centre.
Yes, it's right hand.
What are you going to check?
It says on the floor as well.
Good anticipation there. There is some drivers that would literally come straight across without thinking about that.
Which is why I went on my brakes.
Yeah. Which is why we've got to think about everything, haven't we? To limit and lower our risk.
Because there was a gap for him to go.
Yeah.
Which is,
It would have meant you braking, wouldn't it?
So right signal on, isn't it?
While we're in the inside lane, it won't hurt. Or lane 3, if you like. Follow this spiral line into the middle lane. That's it. Then cancel your right signal. Just follow the middle round. See, both say city on the floor. Do you reckon the lights could change? If so, is anything close?
No.
What about the next set?
Yeah.
Anything close?
No.
You reckon it could change? Good, so that got you straight in your mirrors, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's the aim.
No.
Well done. I say mirrors, I meant mirror. I saw you check your centre. That's the most important one for slowing down, really. So just this lane opens up into 2. Just keep to the right side of the 2. Yeah, got it? The speed limit is? Fantastic.
It's so icy walking to college this morning. It's insane.
Yeah, it was really. It was quite a lot. It was really cold last night and this morning, wasn't it?
I had training last night and it rained.
Did you?
Yeah, I was.
It rained
so
quite a bit,
cold.
weren't it?
Yeah. You know how strong the winds were? Our fence is blown down in the garden.
My next door neighbour, they had like a little brick wall that blew down, but it was like midway through last year. It was that windy. So whenever a BMW like that's behind me, I always think it's like an unmarked police car.
Yeah.
But I knew it weren't because they're tailgating.
You can, if
Read
you're
between
in
the
front
lines.
of them, if you're in front of them, you can tell if they are, because they have all the cameras at the back window.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my dad spotted one. I was on the phone to him.
I'm just going to stay in this lane, yeah?
Yeah.
So why is it, we'll come back to that, why is it okay that we've been in this middle lane for so long? Because we said earlier, left-hand lane's for normal driving, didn't we?
Yeah.
Why is it that we've, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of it, that's why I'm asking to make sure.
We went from like 2 lanes into 3. Yeah, I probably could have moved over, but...
Have you been keeping up to date with them overhead signs?
Yeah and no.
Basically, that lane goes off in a different direction. This lane goes off into, so technically this is our left-hand lane for the direction we're going.
Because this on the lane on the left, that just came out of nowhere.
Yes.
So that means
It's sort of been there, disappeared, reappeared. So we're just going to follow this lane ahead.
Yep.
Do you reckon any of these could change lanes?
Yeah, I'm watching for.
Yeah. Follow your lights ahead. Anything close behind us?
It's a car.
And what is going to happen to the road ahead? What can you see?
It's gonna merge.
Okay. Good. Bang on with the mirrors there. And the speed. Sometimes it's good to have that bit of a up and forward to get a bit of space.
To also, like, protect your territory where you are.
Yeah, that's right. Keeping your bubble,
Yeah.
not bursting the bubble.
Yes.
It's a smaller bubble at that point, but we're travelling slower, so
Yeah.
we're still stopping time to stop. So let's turn left at the lights. Nice one. If we slow earlier, do you reckon them lights will change? Yes.
Yeah. As I staying slow, so I can speed up.
Going back to your question then, yeah, you're making some right good progress, saying you've only had, well, this will be your 14th hour, won't it, at the end of this lesson, I think.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can always check the calendar, my diary and that.
Yeah, I've got 4 lessons left at night.
Maybe this is hour 16 then, at the end of this one. I'm not sure either way, it's all recorded anyway. But yeah, I mean, we're on a really sharp curve upwards, aren't we, in terms of progression, I feel like. And obviously I've been feeding back to you the whole way. So, onwards and upwards. It should be pretty plain sailing from here on, as long as you crack on with your theory, past that first time.
It's a crossroad, isn't it?
Yes. It's called Junction Street, one of these for a reason. We'll be turning right at the lights at the end. What gap are you going to leave between us and the red Clio? If we did stop, probably not going to now.
Bigger gap.
What's the reference again?
Tyre.
Yeah.
Tyre and tarmac ring.
Whichever you want.
One of the two, isn't it? What way are we driving back to ours?
I think.
There's 2 ways back, isn't there?
Which way would you like to go? Straight on past the hospital.
Yeah, I think straight because we've got quite a bit of time, haven't we?
Yeah.
The dual carriageway literally skips out all the traffic through Mickleham. We've got enough time, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, it's finishing at 5 past, aren't we? So.
20 minutes or so.
What gap again?
Tyre and tarmac.
It's a bit of a harder squeeze on the brake there. Do you think if you start thinking about tyres and tarmac at the beginning of your slowing, you get that extra squeeze on a bit earlier, spread it out, and it'll be unnoticeable? Just ease back in case they slam on.
One thing I do like about my car is that it tells you what gear you're in as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
tells you what gear to move up into.
Yeah.
Tells you what you're in. So does it tell you to move up as well?
I think so, yeah.
What about your road position at the moment?
Too far to the right.
That's it. Do you think it's because you're really close to the bus and wanted a better view of the road ahead? Maybe, subconsciously?
Probably.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could not be. It's worth thinking about. So just hold back. Either way, you're not really going to see much past that. Oh, I get you. Yeah, because if we'd have turned... I thought that was his wheels spinning then. I think he's got spinner alloys or something. So we're going to go in the... Yeah. Good.
Can hear sirens.
And the signal, should we turn it off? Don't want these guys pulling out on us, do they, here? He's all halfway pulled out anyway. Anything coming in late on the right side? It's going to cut us up.
No.
Shouldn't, but doesn't mean they wouldn't. If ever there's any space, always check it out, I would. Ensure you're ironing out the possibilities. With that red car then, would you describe that red car as a hazard? Approaching that red car at crossroads and just waiting to turn?
Yeah, I was like, either the lights could change or that car could just pull out.
So
I was holding the brake, just in case.
yeah, good. And another update, are they aware that we're slowing down? Yeah. Because if they weren't, I'd spread my braking out, I'd probably land in that cycle box. I'd give them all the opportunity to not rear end me, you know. Any cyclists caught up on the left side? Could do, couldn't they, with us slowing that much? Especially the Lycra Brigade. They're really quite quick, aren't they? Seen them do about 40 mile an hour before, the ones in Lycra. That's just a generalisation. Just the enthusiasts normally wear Lycra. That's it. No offence to cyclists. Some people are really generic about driver types and types of vehicle. To me, there's shades of good and bad in absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Man, woman, culture, types of drivers. It don't matter what it is. It can't be this or that. There's shades of grey in between.
You've seen recently BMW drivers have actually been voted the worst drivers.
Have they?
Yeah.
And I bet you they're not. I've got a BMW. So take that for example.
Yeah, my grandpa's got an X5.
Yeah.
But not saying all BMW drivers are bad drivers, but
Oh no, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
But people generalise, don't they?
Yeah. What BMW do you have?
It's a 318D Sport Plus. I've done it. I've got a video of it online actually. Commentary drive on carriageways.
Straight on.
Should we turn right?
Okay.
Just so we're not back too early. Centre and left. Do you reckon you could have got your indicator on possibly a bit sooner?
Yeah. I was watching how close I was to the curb as well. It's quite a tight roundabout.
Yeah. Maybe steer a bit slower as you're coming round if you've got concerns that you could steer too much and hit it. If you're travelling slow enough, that is. Obviously, if you're travelling fast, you need to steer fast. So tell me about the risks that you've just shown me. That's all. Well done.
Put my indicator on to around
I think it's clear from your positioning what your intentions are, isn't it? Unless anything's coming around you in your right mirror. If there was something oncoming, you could alert that possibly, just to make it more clear. But I think because there was nothing there, there's only people behind you. Your positioning was lovely. So. Thought you had a wig on then. It was.
Well, it's Donald Trump.
Is there anything we've touched on today that I've not finished or covered or explained fully, do you think? So far?
No, really, I think we've covered quite a lot today, actually.
Yeah. Let's take, not this one, it's further down. See where that bluey car just turned in the distance?
Yeah.
Not right, but the left one. So.
This one, yeah.
Now, next one, just cancel the signal. That's fine. Good stuff. And just follow the road ahead now.
Oh, I know where, but yeah. I come up by a big roundabout, aren't we?
Which way are you going to turn when you get to that roundabout?
It's going to be the third exit.
So I'll leave all that with you then, shall I?
Yes.
Independent driving already.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Well done.
I think there's a completely different perspective in driving in the seat and just being a passenger. Like you could know the road driving, in passenger seat, sorry, and then you sit in the driving seat and you go, I don't know where we are. Because you're too busy concentrating on
Yeah, that's a good point.
what you're doing and rather where you are. I think maybe next lesson,
Yeah,
because obviously now I've got to do a sat nav, haven't I?
yeah.
So I don't know if that might be a thing to maybe do.
That's exactly sort of the direction I was thinking in terms of what to do next week. Yeah. We'll do a quick summary when we finish,
Yeah.
and we'll set out an outline for next lesson.
Okay.
So if you just take us back to yours, do you reckon you could do that independently?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just be watching out, so I'm not like going to sit here and go to sleep. I'll be watching your every move, anticipating your next action.
Okay.
If I need to intervene, I will do, of course. But if not, I will leave you to it if you're happy to do so.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing 20 minutes of this on your test, aren't you? So
Yeah.
I'm going to start warming you into it now, especially because you're local, like your local area. No, you've not lived around here that long, have you? But
I think I've done these routes quite a lot with the bus.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. told me to, didn't you? We didn't hand that back over to you, did we, Strictly? Let me know when you do want to take full responsibility though for those mirrors, yeah? Good stuff there. For us today, potentially?
No, I'll show you where it is.
Some kind person swept it up?
I don't think so. It's on the left or right hand side, just there. So,
oh, okay.
I think someone dropped a load of glass, like beer bottles or something.
That was good of them, weren't it?
Yeah, waste of money.
Very, very grown up. Could have been an accident.
Yeah.
Doubt it. Pull up at a safe place. Awesome. Nice drive there. Let's should we finish with a recap? Yeah. So Josh, Jack, what's your name again?
Jack.
I know. Sorry. Just for those watching, I had a test with a lad called Josh this morning, so I've had to go from Josh to Jack. Jack.
Yes.
How was your lesson today? Do you feel?
It went really well. We've do you want to know what we've done, or do you want me to...
Yeah, I mean, obviously those watching will know what we did. But for your benefits, what do you feel went well today? What are you most proud of?
Well, I said earlier on I wanted to sort of just remember about my mirrors, which I've got the hang of now. So pulling out of my centre, my right, and then pulling back in centre and left. That's gone really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't part of the original plan, was it, that? But
no,
it was sort of brought in and...
As we, sort of talk about it as we were driving along, just one thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, and the good thing about working with yourself is you always let me know if you feel there's something that you need to be a bit sharper with. It would get addressed sooner or later, but sometimes you can't do everything at once, can you? But if you feel you're ready, then yeah, always let me know. Do you feel like you've got a better understanding now of that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a lot clearer in my head what we need to do.
Yeah, good. And do you reckon, what would you aim to do next lesson with that, do you think?
Just practice with it now I've got my car.
Yeah.
Go out with my parents and just practice with it. And then, yeah.
Good. And just another one just to finish off with that. What's the difference, if you can remember from lesson one, and we've recapped it since, between the centre mirror and the door mirrors?
That the side mirrors, they look a lot close. No, they look a lot further away than they actually are. So just once getting a hang of that, of the perspective of where they actually are, I've got now. So it's a lot better. Good.
So, do you reckon by the end of the next session you would be maybe wanting to take sort of more responsibility for that, and
yeah, I think
sort of adapt that more for yourself?
Yeah, I think just try and get a bit more independent in the driving, which would be good for when I am an independent driver. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, the way things are going, it's not going to be long.
Yeah.
Very, very good the way it's going, because you've not done all that many hours, to be fair. So no. Very, very good. Carriageway driving, happy with that?
Yeah. Now looking over my shoulders, remembering to do that, which I think was one of the plans at the beginning, you said.
Yes, I give you some reminders with that, I believe, every time we did it.
Yeah.
Next lesson, do you feel that, and you did it, and you did it well, because sometimes people do this, or this, and look right, and that's unsafe, really. Yeah. So I just reminded you, and you did it all safe, so it's not like you don't know how to do it, it's just remembering. Do you reckon next lesson you'd sort of want to take a bit more responsibility for that as well? Try and remember it yourself?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
I guess you could be practicing these bits in your own private practice now, which is the beauty of it.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
How regularly do you think you'll be driving?
Well, I got athletics training at least 3 or 4 times a week, so 3 or 4 times a week, maybe a bit more depending on what we're doing.
Really good.
When I can.
Yeah, really good, really good. So what else are you pleased with today?
I'm pleased that we fully talked over the pull over on the right and reverse back 2 spaces.
What did we uncover with that? That's useful to remember for next time. You already knew it, you'd just forgotten it, I think.
Yeah, to remember to look directly at the back window so you can also see your blind spots, because the centre mirror is just a straight view behind you. So just try and remember to look in the rear view window.
Fantastic. Before you do that, what would you do in terms of observations? Anything, or just look straight at the back and go?
I think as you're looking backwards, to remember to keep looking forwards for oncoming vehicles.
Yeah.
So you know when to stop, so you're not a moving hazard for them.
Yeah.
And to remember to keep your distance between the curb.
Fantastic. And don't forget, we said that we'd check the right shoulder first and work our way around the direction of travel.
Yeah.
Just because things could be... Do you remember what we said?
Yeah, because someone could be walking there or walking behind and you can't see them.
It would be a developing hazard, so they'd be reversing.
Yeah.
We wouldn't see them. We'd start sort of in the mirror, or not check that side at all.
Yeah.
Some people wouldn't. You'd start moving and you'd think, oh, there's nothing around me, it's safe, and then something would pop out of nowhere and you think, where bloody hell did that come from?
Yeah.
Well, it's because you didn't see it developing,
Yeah.
coming towards you, you know what I mean? So always check it out. That's why even if I move off from the left, I always do a 6-point check. Left shoulder, because the door mirror doesn't show it, work the way around.
Yeah.
Yes, it's this side I'm going to steer out, but something could come around me while I'm checking these. Don't see it, oh, it's clear, and then all of a sudden it's there because it's going quicker than me.
Okay.
So yeah. And what do you feel, if anything, going forwards that you'd want to work on and develop next session?
I think now that we've got to do sat nav follow, I think that would be a good place to maybe start on or put in
I
the
agree.
next lesson to follow sat nav. Yeah.
I agree. I think what's going to be good, the crossroads went okay as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
We'll do many more of all of that sort of things before we finish those sort of things. I think, should we do a bit more mileage on the carriageways and stick predominantly with that sort of type of driving, faster roads,
I think,
next week?
Yeah, I think that might be a good place to go.
I think that's the next place to go with you, because today, if I had to intervene with your driving, grab the wheel, use the pedals, verbally tell you, oh, don't do that, or anything like that, I've not had, have I? So that means really, you know, you're keeping us quite safe, quite steady with everything. In terms of your objective, your goal at the beginning that you set, do you feel you've achieved it?
Yeah, definitely. I think everything you've taught me and spoke to me, it's gone really well. So
I would agree. So well done to you.
Thank you.
And obviously we'll finish the video now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys.